What about at NASA? If I fast forward 3 years from now, I can't remember if we're at the moon or not, but you certainly have reorged at that point, right, Mike? And
Absolutely.
there's a lot of pieces and parts in place. What do you want to see? Where do you want to sort of land, as I'll call it? Let's say 3 years from now, what's NASA going to look like from where you sit as a CISO?
Honestly, as corny as this going to sound, I want to be the silent partner around that. And where I'm getting at with that is, I want the missions to be partnering with us so that cybersecurity is built in on day zero, right? I mean, it's not day one; it's day zero. So as they start basically moving forward with their programs and stuff like that, it's just part of that culture. It's part of the foundation that we put into our programs going up there. It's not a second thought or something that we have to catch up on around it from that standpoint or whatever. And so that when we do great things out there, like, going to Mars and beyond, with Gateway going up, and we're working with our partners, the European Space Agency and stuff like that, right? You don't really hear about cybersecurity, right? You want to hear about the great things that NASA's doing on the space side, on the research side around it from that standpoint or whatever. And so again, I'll say in 3 years, I really want to make sure that when I say silent partner, that means we've got things working in the background and I'm not on the front news for any reason whatsoever, right? Because that means usually bad things have happened, and I don't want bad things to happen, right? So it's really trying to work with our partners to make sure that we basically, get our culture into place for cybersecurity. And by the way, it really has changed since I've been there for now 6 years at NASA, and from the day I started to where we are now, the culture has definitely shifted, and I want to continue to push that shift.
When you say culture has shifted, in what respect? I'm just curious about that.
So if you think about it, right, at NASA, just the amount of research that we've done, right? So it was typically kind of the I'll call it college environment, right? All the amount of research, right? And access to everything, and and a lot of times security impeded that access and stuff like that. So security was, I'll say, traditionally thought of as an impediment and not a partner, right? And so that's something that we've really been pushing over the last 6 years that I've been here, is pushing that in to make sure they understand things like Shane brought up earlier, the SolarWinds incident, right? NASA was actually a victim of that incident.
Okay.
One of the things I did here that we just done a little bit differently, usually when the big incidents happen, right, the leadership gets briefed up what's happened. We say everything's like all classified, and then we never share it out with anybody else. I actually took advantage of that incident and went the other direction with it. I held numerous open forums within NASA with all of our users, our contractors, our employees, and everyone. And we had multiple segments of, this is exactly what happened during that incident. We gave the full kimono. Here's what happened. And what the adversary did while they were on a network, what the adversary didn't do, what they could have done, what they didn't do, and stuff like that. So we really shared that internally to help the education piece of that. So again, from my perspective, never waste a good crisis.
Sure.